Hi, and welcome to a quick race review for Chattanooga 70.3 2021 edition. So I'm going to give Billy, let us start out with our check-in.
So I'll do check-in and transition. Check-in, not all, but most of the COVID protocols are gone. So big difference between last week and this week. Did not have to wear a mask, did not have to do temperature checks. The spectators were allowed in Ironman Village. Spectators were allowed on the course. That was a big change.
That's a big difference.
Big difference, and that was that happened like Wednesday, I think, of this week. So one thing that did affect was they weren't able to, schedule the school buses to take you from transition to the swim start. So standard transition, 6 bikes per rack. There were a bunch of people in this race, 2,300, 2,400, something like that. So it was a bigger race than last week. Did still have relays. Transition was set up how you would expect an Ironman transition to be set up. It has 6 bikes per rack. You set up your stuff right in front of your bike. I can't think. Can you think of anything different about transition other than what you would normally expect?
No, back to normal.
I mean, getting in and out, same deal. You biked in one end of the transition, you biked out the other, same thing, run in, run out. You did loop around transition when you got on the course, but that's transition pretty much the same. Big difference was from transition, the swim was 1.5 miles away or 1.4 miles away, and you walked. So they gathered everybody in transition according to whatever your expected time was, and then you walked to the rowing club where you hopped into the swim and then hopped in the swim. I think Megan's going to describe the swim for us.
The swim is a river swim. Chattanooga changed it this year to 1.4 miles instead of 1.2, but they did take out the section where you swim upriver and then back down. So this year it's all downriver, wetsuit legal.
Yeah, temperature was 71 degrees, 70 point something degrees. It was a really good temperature for a swim for sure.
Mm-hmm. The end is a little hard to get out. You have to climb up some stairs, which is unique. But there are plenty of volunteers helping you get out of the water.
Be aware of the stairs. The first stair is chest high in the water. It's not you're not fixing to step on a step and get up.
Yeah.
Plenty of volunteers with the hand out, grabbing you and helping you up, and then they would pass you to another volunteer, and so you had a hand getting out. So that was nice, but do be prepared for the no steps deep in the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to use my knee and then got up from there.
Mm-hmm.
So the bike is the standard bike course for Chattanooga. The roads in Chattanooga are rough. Be prepared for that. The railroad crossing, the first railroad crossing had no pads or anything, and so there was, I called it a bottle graveyard right after it. This is in the first 3 miles of the bike, and so we were warned to tape down your bottles. So do that. Make sure your bottles are ultra secure, because if they can come out, they will, and they will come out at mile 3. That was the biggest loss of bottles. There's some more along Chattanooga. As soon as you the course crosses into Georgia, cross over the line, you had 13 miles of freshly paved asphalt. It was magnificent. Of course, you've got that particularly big hill right around, what is that, mile 20 or 25? Where you come in and take a left. It's a fairly steep grade, but it is not very long. So everybody makes a big deal about it. It's really not that bad if you're expecting it. So if you're going to do this race, drive the course before. That will help you out a lot. Hills are rolling. There's a few ups, but really this is a great bike. Highly recommended.
So I'll go on to the run. They call it a 2 1/4 loop run. The first leg of the run goes like around transition. You almost circle all of transition. Then you kind of go out towards some hotels and then make a U-turn and come back. That's the only time you do that section. Then you go into kind of downtown Riverwalk. You get on the Riverwalk. You go around through a park. There's kind of a little zigzag area that you do. You do all of that twice. You go over 2 bridges over the river. So you go over one bridge, hang a left, go down a little bit, hang a left, and you go over a pedestrian bridge. The first bridge is a car bridge, 4-lane car bridge, but plenty of room for you to run in the median. It's a full lane or more. Didn't have any problems with congestion or anything. The finish is downhill. It's maybe 3/4 of a mile or so downhill. You get off that pedestrian bridge the second time, hang left, hang another left, and you're straight downhill all the way to finish chute. Finish chute, really long finish chute, lots of spectators lining it. You can give high fives to everybody, and so that was nice. That's different than what we've had recently from people doing that. But that's pretty much the run. After the run, when you finish, we picked up finisher medal, finisher shirt. It's a shirt, but it doesn't say finisher on it. So instead of getting the normal finisher shirt at the finish line, it's just a regular shirt, but you did pick it up at the finish line. The food is not in the same place as the finish line. You have to exit the finish line and then you go to another tent. There's food there. I didn't go into the food tent, but I did see that they had pizza. So this is the first time we've seen pizza since 2019.
Yeah.
Right. So that's good. Thank you, Ironman, for the pizza. Appreciate that. Any other comments on this? We'll do a lengthy race review, giving our thoughts on everything in the race and tell stories. It'll be a separate video on YouTube. But thank you for looking.